Hey, hey, hey! Hello, traders, noobs, apes, and everyone else. Doesn't matter. Here, everyone is part of Drippy Gang. To those who are new, I am Drippy, your source of options drip on a daily basis. Here we talk about some of the most exciting setups based on the options flow, technical analysis, pattern analysis, macroeconomic events, and current market structure. So if you want to make some tendies, stick around. My goal is for all of you to achieve financial freedom and create life changing wealth. On the screen, I have my Twitter account dedicated to this channel and interacting with you folks. So make sure you follow me there for free alerts, my entries, exits, my market commentary all day long. The handle is at Drippy Too Hard. So in the last video, I shared my strategy in detail on how I found my weekly setups, how I find my weekly setups using unusual whales, which is my main source of options flow data. I highly encourage you try it. If you want a limited discount, go sign up with the link in the description below. And I think the discount is around like 5 to 10%. I'm not sure, but I think that's a pretty good discount on membership. And it's already cheap, so you guys are getting a bang for buck. Please note that the content I share here are my opinions. I'm not a registered financial advisor. You're responsible for managing your risks and taking profits. So, without further ado, let's proceed with today's agenda. So, today I will share my Palantir, the ticker PLTR scalp trade from Thursday, which was September 16th, 2021. And technically, the trade would be an intraday swing, but the strategy remains the same. So, a day before this trade and a couple of weeks running into this trade, I shared on Twitter that I'm looking for scalp opportunities. And if you're a completely new trader and you're new to scalping, there are many things you need to consider, like stocks average true range, which is ATR. I keep talking about it on my Twitter feed, and that's very important. And other things like price action, flow, volume, and market conditions. Uh, you know, so if you want me to cover that stuff, drop a comment below, and anything else, drop a comment below. I'll be happy to take a look. So now look at the Palantir chart um, before Thursday. So when we look at this chart, I don't have any indicators, right? So let's say you're looking at this first time, right? Well, I won't recommend you to trade a stock like a scalp a stock you haven't traded before, because every chart has a character and you need to know how much it moves and how it moves, which you cannot get from like looking at the chart unless you're looking at 1 minute charts of stock. So in this case, excuse me. So in this case, when you look at this stock, you can clearly see here that this has been a long-term resistance, 27.5 area, and it's right there, and it's above all the moving averages here, EMA cloud, and it just consolidated here in this area. It broke out and it retested this area. Now this was before, so I was watching this stock since this gap up here of earnings. So another thing you need to look at is this is a common pattern where usually you have this kind of volume pocket. I don't know what it's called, but I think it's called volume pocket. And like the idea behind that is that post earnings, if the earnings are solid, like the stock kind of moves sideways for a while and then it breaks out. And looking at the other indicators here, so you need to look at everything. So this, I already looked at this stock. I've been looking at it for a long time. So the RSI is strong here. And if you look at the past history, that it tends to at least go till the this area, right, the overbought zone, and it's still going strong. And if you look at the volume here, the relative volume is increasing, right? This was more than, so it's kind of like, increasing, momentum is increasing, it's reaching our target. So I had my alert set for 27.5 level. And so this is my brief description, and you can tell like this is kind of like head and shoulder pattern, right? This is head, this is like shoulder, or you can call it like a inverted cup, doesn't matter, all of them are bullish. So this stock is ultra bullish. A lot of eyes are on this one, earnings were great. And also now, like if I open this, like unhide my levels here, so you can see here like this is kind of like going up. This previous zone was resistance, and it became like a demand zone. 2 times it bounced off from this anchored VWAP from all-time high, so this was acting as a great support. And then if you look at the volume gap, the volume profile, right, so you can see it's kind of on this volume shelf. So everything in this stock was bullish. So in my mind, there were two things I had. My trade plan was simple, right? Once it breaks 27.5, I'm entering a swing position because I like this stock in swing options. So my plan was to keep rolling my options and take profits every week, because I know that once it breaks this level, it is going to move, just like how Snowflake did. If you look at the snow chart, so look at, it's a very similar pattern, and snow broke this area, and then it's been running non-stop, right? Even when the market is like so bad right now. So it's a very similar pattern, like you need to observe patterns in charts, and this is one of the things. As you look at more charts, you will see. But now this is the day of the trade. So this was this trade daily candle. So let's go into more details on how I and my second plan, sorry, I had two plans, and second was to scalp it, right, if the relative volume was high. And so I was hoping that relative volume is high, and the way I verified that was, let's go to this. So on the left I have unusual whales, I'll explain that in a minute, but here I have my sorry, this was supposed to be set, but now I have to move it back on a 1 minute chart back to the 9:30 a.m. So I apologize, it refreshed while I was on the other screen, but we are almost there. So yeah, my system is a little bit slow because of all the recording I've been doing. I will set up my new system tomorrow for all of you guys, so I can record videos in a better way, because my system right now is kind of old. But it's good for trading, and I have all my trading softwares on this. So without further ado, so yeah, now here is the 1 minute chart of Palantir, right? So this wasn't something I was paying attention, because I had my own setups, and I was looking at them. So this was on my secondary watch list, but I was looking at the flow because I wanted to scalp. So I'm looking at the flow here, and now, so this is the live flow section of unusual whales. And here what I did, like usually I leave this empty, but since I wanted to show this demo for Palantir, like and here you can type other tickers as well, like just a comma Tesla, and it will show up. So that's another great feature. So if you have 10 stocks in watch list, you can just put here, and you can watch the flow for them. But for me, I was just watching the live flow. Some things to keep in mind: the time here was today, that day, but in this case I have set the time to somewhere around 9:30 to 11 on 16th morning, so I can show you the trades I was looking, like the order flow I was looking at. and the premium I set to 50,000 minimum, which means that I am not looking at retail trades. Usually 50 plus is some whale, and for Palantir for sure. So apart from that, I'm like, here I have done calls time descending in DT under DTE range. So usually mine is like after 10-15 minutes I set it to premium descending, but I think here this makes sense to show demo. And then so these are the only settings I have for watching the live flow. And here I'm looking at 9:30 this like Palantir. Wait, I think it was 9:30, but let me just refresh it, because sometimes my laptop scrolling is not working properly. So yeah, so this I think the date is wrong, that's why this is happening. I apologize here. So let me just verify the timing here. So it was Thursday 16th, and apply. And everything else time descending. So yeah, okay. So I'm looking at this screen here, right? And I look here, the trades. Sorry, one sec. I think my phone was buzzing. Yeah, so I'm looking at this trade here, and I see here at 9:32, this call order comes for same week expiry, and this is a Thursday, so I'm like curious here, and then another one comes here for same week, and then another one, right? So and also around this point of time, uh, if you look here, this is the underlying section. So so my all-time resistance was 27.5, right, as I told you. So I think it had the other orders before it, but for some reason unusual whales is not showing, but it had 9:30 orders as well. But you can verify it later. But so I saw some orders at 9:30 here, and then I was like, that's a pretty bullish flow. And also, like I was looking at this price action at this point of time, and what I observed was that the relative volume, right? So one thing I always do before taking a trade is I go here, and this is Finviz. So on Finviz, I just type the Palantir and I look at the ATR. So in this case, it's 1.12, and the average volume daily is 43 million. So 43 by 480 minutes, that's like per minute volume is on average less than 1 million, right? So you need to kind of like get used to this kind of calculations. And then if you look at the volume bar here, the volume is sorry, yeah, so the volume here is 1.3 million. On the top left corner you can see, and then here it's 2.11. So 2.11 is more than the average daily 1 minute volume. So both of these were bullish, and like, so this was my supply zone, and I was waiting for an entry if to retest this level, and here it was like a perfect area for me to enter because it was EMA cloud, and also it just like the flow was looking really bullish, so I just entered my scalp position here. And I think after that, so my strategy is usually using unusual whales for getting in a trade, but after that my levels are based on price action. But some folks use this to kind of look at bullish premium but bearish premium to get out, but in this case everything was bullish. So pretty much I excuse me, I was just just looking at the price action, and then my stop loss was around like around this area, like this consolidation zone. I was like, if it breaks this support area which it kind of established for a long time, then I'm out of my trade. but it went here, and my target was 29 level, because as I told, I was ultra bullish on this chart, and in my mind, I knew that it's gonna touch 29 at least, and that's not unreasonable, because the amount the stock can move is 4.6 to 3.88, right? It's on a weekly basis, so I mean it's possible for it to move that much. But anyway, now here I am in the trade. All I'm looking at is the price action, and then here I get a little bit nervous, because I'm like, maybe I should take some profit, but as I told, it just broke through a very critical resistance, and in my, like, volume, like, these were low volume bars. This wasn't like a high volume like this one. So I was not concerned much, and the EMA support was pretty good. So I held my contracts all the way, I think, until, so yeah. So now it has, it's extended at this point of time. Like, it's really extended. It has almost moved. At this point, it has moved 1.69, and ATR is 1.12, right? So it's approaching like to ATR, and that's where, like, usually, like, people take profits. So but in my mind, again, 29 was the level, so it was kind of far from here. But so here, like, this was my stop, mental stop, around this support area, like 28.5, which is also psychological. So I saw this candle, and this was like a huge candle, and it kind of broke through this support in a minute, like a minute candle, which was not that, like, bullish. So I got out around this area. I i exited all my contracts, but not except my swing, because I think, like, it will still go up into next week. But, like, the stock held through this EMA, and I could have held my swing intraday, but since it was Thursday, time decay is also something to consider, and it closed at, like, pretty much high of the day, so looking very bullish in for next week. So this was my pretty much like scalp. Like, if you want quick scalps, you could have gotten in around this area, and taken profits around this area. I think overall I made around 500% on this, and I think the days total from this point was like 700% or something. So overall, I think it was pretty good trade, and I just wanted to show how to use, like, unusual whales for this, um, and hopefully you guys learned something new today. If like, there are a lot of things I observed, like which strike, like what's the expiration, so you need to consider all of it. What time. So I'm looking at everything, so make sure, don't just sit in front of the computer, just observe what's going on, and just trade one or two stocks. If you're starting, you don't need to look at, like, a lot of data, because that becomes overwhelming, and you need to know the stock you're scalping. um, Apart from that, guys, um, just subscribe, like this video, subscribe to the channel. You all know that I have a full-time job, and this trading is my passion, and that's why I'm doing it. uh, so until next time, guys. Bye.